That's a joke. That's a joke. Hey, you guys know what time it is. We back right here. You about to get lost in the sauce with Gio, aka Saucy Capone. Back. Let's go ahead and talk about the culture. Anything from fashion, music, sports, and life experiences. Yo, go ahead, follow, like, subscribe, Sauce Podcast Inc. on Instagram and YouTube. Let's go. So, you know how we get this started off. We start this off by shooting the shit. Hey, yo, first thing I want to say, hey, we went missing. We went MIA for a little bit. My apologies on that. We're going to talk about real quick about the DJ Bobby fallout. What happened? What happened? The Sauce DJ Bobby podcast. Listen, I got nothing for love for DJ Bobby. That guy's a youngster. He's only 26, 27, figuring it out just like everyone else in this life, even myself included. Pretty much, I mean, I felt like it was going pretty smooth. We had a lot of subscribers. We were moving at a cool pace. We had a great collab, good relationships building with Podcast Place and Solomon and going to Hollywood and I appreciate everyone's support. But people want to know what really happened. Um, there was a couple situations, he felt a little bit overwhelmed. And, we all get like that sometimes in life. I've been through situations like that as well. And, he's got the DJ thing going on, he's got his job. He's got, he's learning, he's doing his thing. And he does the edits and he does the reels and and I'm just the talker, and he just, a couple times he was just like, it's just a little bit too much for me. I just feel a little bit overwhelmed. I'm always doing all the work. And I felt bad for the guy. I was like, man, I wish I knew how to do stuff like that. Like, I don't have a laptop. I need to go buy one. But when it gets to the point where I don't really want to hear anyone complaining. So I'm like, you know what, man? Like it's probably better off like, we just cut ties right now for a minute and from there you're more than welcome to come back to the show. Just give me the password for the Instagram, give me the password for the YouTube, and I'll take care of business as usual. Don't worry, do your thing, bro, and then when you're ready to come back you can come back. And he was cool with it, he was down and he was like, all right, cool. So I ended up changing the password, I ended up doing my own thing, and a couple hours go by and I want to get back into it. And then next thing it was invalid. I couldn't get in. He had the email and he changed it again. And when I went and I approached him through the text message, I was like, hey man, what's going on, bro? I can't get in. Like, oh, and then his response was, you know what? I just, I thought about it and my face is all over there and I really don't feel comfortable letting you, keep going and being in charge of everything that we started. And then I got a little upset about it. I told him some things and, to me, it was like a slap in the face, man. Like we built something together. I didn't mean like to cut ties with him, like, take it like that serious that he was gonna get all butthurt and stuff. It was more like, yo, bro, like let me just run it, business as usual, and you're welcome to come back. But he didn't do that, man. As you guys know, he shut everything down. He took it off Instagram. The YouTube's still up. We had a good run. We had a good run, but I feel like the people just needed to know. I mean, most people probably might disagree and say like, "Hey, why are you talking about that?" And I just feel like people need to know. They need to know the true story of what happened. Um, the next day, it was Thanksgiving morning, and I park where I park all the time. And then I had to go to work. Unfortunately, I had to work Thanksgiving just for a few hours. And then when I got to my car, I noticed that my tire was flat, like bad, like to the bottom, the back tire, only one tire. So I got it towed and I went over here to the local tire shop and he did his test and whatever. I'm just thinking like a nail or something like that, you know what I mean? And then next thing you know, like he's like, "Oh man, nah, this is a brand new tire. Unfortunately, someone shanked your tire. Someone shanked your tire." Now, me, man, my whole life, I'm 30. I just turned 38 years old. I never had anyone do vandalize vandalize anything on my property before. So I'm thinking like, man, dude, really? Like, I'm trying to figure out who slashed my tire. They didn't scuff my car or key my car. You'd think they would slash all three, the other three tires, but they didn't. So I was kind of like just trying to figure it out, who would do something like that. It was just very unfortunate. It just wasn't cool. So, maybe it was because I told him too. It was like, yo, karma's gonna be a bitch. Like for you, like go ahead and doing what you did. Like, watch, something's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. But hey, I'm cool with him, man. I'm cool with DJ Bobby. Like, I got no hard feelings, bro. But now this is what it is, bro. This is the comeback, bro. Y'all thought I've disappeared and that was it, but this is something that I love to do. I'm very passionate about this. This is my therapy. I'm talking to you, to any of the listeners that are listening, that are out there in America, in the world. You know what I mean? I'm still fighting and battling every day, and this is just something that instead of me going to see Dr. David Philman, which he's an amazing therapist, by the way. Hey, shout out to Dr. David Philman over there in the South Bay. Been seeing him since middle school, and on and off, and even couples therapy too. And to me, honestly, bro, I'd rather just come in here and just talk to Sal and talk to you, and this is my therapy. Honestly, I mean, if he took the insurance, I'd be like, Solomon, let's take the insurance, you know.
What?
But I mean, yeah. So that's what's up with that. I got a couple different topics today to talk about. As you can see behind me, you guys probably wondering what the props and things that I got going on. You know what I mean? First of all, shout out to Savage Designs, always having my back. Look at this. Oh my God, look at this art piece right here. Listen, oh my God, I love that, man. I mean, that looks just like me, man. I mean, yeah, the tummy, I'm a little thinner. I haven't been drinking that much. Y'all probably wondering what's going on with the sauce because I told you guys no sauce for 210 days. We'll get to that too. But man, you know how much I love the New York Jets, and I'll talk about what that belt is in just a little bit later. But shout out to Savage Designs. I mean, that piece right there was just the vision that I always had for the original podcast. That right there, Solomon, if you can see that, bro. Do you know what movie that's from? Do you know what that background's from? I'm gonna give you a little hint
Oh, the
too.
background?
Yeah,
Here.
I'm gonna give you a little hint too. The guy
Mm.
is an actor. He's a legend, and he's facing the blimp, bro. It's an old school movie, gangster movie. Do you know what movie that
Oh.
is,
Well, if there's a blimp in it, it's gotta be what, 1940s?
bro? Gangster movie. What's one of the top gangster movies other
Uh,
than The Godfather? Can you think of? He's wearing a suit. He's looking up there.
I don't
It
know, I
says,
would say LA Confidential.
"Okay, okay." It says, "The world is yours" on the blimp.
Mm.
Mm.
Scarface?
Boom, nailed it. That's the Scarface background right there. Like
Yeah.
that's the vision that I had from the beginning, from the last podcast, and that's what I wanted for me and DJ Bobby to have. But for whatever reason, it just never happened that way. And even though we wanted it to be that way, and now like I'm taking the opportunity of starting this all over again, and this is like my thing, bro. Like this is it's really cool. Getting lost in the sauce with Gio, aka Saucy Capone. So shout out to Savage Designs. So the first topic I want to talk about, you guys already know this is culture, sports, fashion, music, and life experiences. I want to talk about the Super Bowl, and I want to talk about the Super Bowl, and I want to talk about the New York Jets. I mean, yeah, 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 yeah. You might be tired of hearing about the New York Jets, but we'll get to that in a little bit. It's about the Super Bowl, though. Like, honestly, like, leading up to the Super Bowl, I really thought Lamar Jackson was gonna be in the running. He was gonna be there, bro. The Ravens doing their thing. They got Mark Andrews coming back, tight end off injury. They got Likely killing it. Their whole squad. They just picked up Dalvin Cook. I mean, oh my God, like everyone was thinking they're running it. They're gonna win the Super Bowl. They're gonna get there, right? And when that game happened, that was the AFC Division Championship game. The play calling and what Harbaugh was calling was ridiculous. I mean, this team's a running team. It's a running team, and then in that game, they ended up passing like crazy, like the whole game. That's not them. That's not their scheme. And for them to lose like the way they did, that was heartbreaking for a lot of fans. So I mean, people could say what they say. The NFL is rigged, or I've heard a bunch of speculations. But then you got the Swifties, they're taking over, the Swifties, and I know what they bring to the table. And you got the Niners coming in from the NFC, and I was really rooting for the Lions. I ain't gonna lie. I was rooting for the 8 Mile, the Detroit, the Lions and the fans, because they have that same like passion like the New York Jets and the Jersey fans and New York fans have for the New York Jets, Gang Green and having making the Super Bowl for such a long time. And I think it was like 20 something, 30 years since the last time. I think it was like 1994 or something like that was the last time they made it to like the playoffs or something like that. And they ran over the Rams, like crushed them. It was a great game, but we knew the Lions were gonna win. And when the Lions played the Niners for that division championship game for the NFC, I really thought like the Lions had it. Like you guys know what happened. They were winning the game, they were doing their thing, they're running the table. But when you got fumbles from Jamar Gibbs, when you got passes from Reynolds not catching the ball, you already know that the coach is gonna go all in on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. It's not his fault. He's a gambling man. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you don't. But a couple things I would have done differently. You know what I mean? I'm a sports guy. I played sports my whole life. Like, how you gonna bench Jamar Gibbs after the fumble? Like, that's not something that you do. You gotta coach the man up. Be like, you know what? I need you, bro. I need you. This is the championship game. Let's get your ass back in there. I don't agree with him benching him. But anyways, make the long story short, now we have the Super Bowl, right? I don't know, man. It was cool, but it was just like for me, it was like another excuse to drink, spend time with friends, family, like everyone else, right? Partying, having the food and all the good stuff and the barbecue. But I wasn't really too fond of it. I was like, yeah, like everyone hating on Mahomes, like they don't want to see him win again and the Chiefs again. I get that. I guess low key, I was rooting for the Niners because they're right here in Cali, but I wasn't really feeling them either. So to be honest with you, I could really care less who won the Super Bowl. If I had to pick a team, I would have picked the Niners. I would like to see someone brand new win, but that didn't happen. And you know what the crazy part is that it was an overtime game, and the Chiefs had the ball. And you know what's crazy, Solomon, is that the last play, if you see that play, and I know you guys seen it numerous times, it's the last play of the game.
Yep.
McCole Harmon. McCole Harmon is the one that caught the winning touchdown. And guess what? McCole Harmon was on the New York Jets the whole freaking season, the whole time. We just picked them up with the trade and everything. And you know what's crazy about McCole Harmon? We never played him. We never played the guy. The guy was non-existent. He wasn't on the field. I don't We have this speedy receiver and we're thinking about all these great things. We got rid of Elijah Moore to the Cleveland Browns, which is one of my favorite players. And then for us to McCall Harmon to trade him back to the Chiefs and for him to catch the winning touchdown, it
In
was
overtime.
in overtime in the Super Bowl. It was just like another slap in the face about my team and the goddamn New York Jets. And it was just like, really? Really? How much more scripted could that have been, right?
Yeah.
Um, but it is what it is, man. There was some hate, there was some talk. There was a lot of professional NFL players, celebrities. I mean, come on, it was in Vegas. It was in Vegas. Everyone was there. I know a lot of the New York Jets players were there. Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, Brees Hall. Man, Hardy. I'm sure everyone was over there from the Jets. I've seen a lot. Garrett Wilson. They're doing their thing and getting out there and mingling with people. Sauce said what he said. He said something about like, yo, everyone picking the Niners to win the Super Bowl, but you can't really, having the underdog as the Chiefs and the Mahomes, like you can't count them out. Then the Chiefs ended up doing what they're doing, and he's like, yo, excuse me, y'all sleeping on the Chiefs. And then some Niner player, Chavarius something, he's number 7 on the Niners, was talking shit back, saying like, "Man, you sorry ass Jets, like stay in your cave, bro. You don't need to be talking about this." Like Sauce, like you don't even know anything about the playoffs. Like you over there sitting on the couch, like basically telling them to shut the fuck up. Like, I mean, I know I don't play for the team. You guys probably wondering like, why is this guy like love the Jets so much? And kind of similar to like Jet Santa. He was on New York CBS News. It's like it's not even about that, bro. It's not even about like, it's just something that I'm passionate about, just like doing this podcast. And I wasn't really too fond of that, that dude. So we come in, bro. We just released. You see that helmet right there? We have the throwback sack exchange uniforms. We only rocked them like one or two times, this past season, and now they made it official, saying that that's the New York Jets uniforms going forward for all season. I can't wait. It's amazing. We're gonna have it in white, green, and black. So stay tuned to that. Man, wow, I gotta have a drink after that one. Man, I miss doing this, man. At the end of the day, I could write as many notes as I want. I could game plan it, strategize it, but it's just at the end of the day, it's all about freestyling and just having fun with it, man. That's really what it comes down to. All right, all right. So let's talk about the next one that I got for y'all. Since I've been missing in action, your boy right here, right behind me, right by my fresh cut. Shout out to Boomy with that fresh cut. Boomy, you know who you are, man. Killing it, bro. Giving me the fade and enhancements. But right behind me, man, I ended up finally winning the NFL Fantasy Championship, man. It's been like probably like 6+ years. Y'all know who you are that play the fantasy. We got everyone playing NFL fantasy nowadays. I can't wait till the season comes back again. And I finally ended up doing something and I ended up winning. That's the OC Jets. That's the OC Jets fantasy football league, and I was very excited. Some of you guys probably saw it on my personal Instagram. Me and my son there at Dave and Buster's receiving it, and I take that pretty much everywhere I go because it just shows that like I want to win, not just in fantasy, but I want to win in life. And I'm always striving to be better and do things and all that good stuff. So man, I really appreciate it. I get to hold the belt the whole season and I don't have to return it back until the NFL season starts in 206 or 205 days away, in September.
Why do you got to give it back? It says 2023 on it.
So the reason why I got to get it back is because the brand new season starts again, and then there's going to be a new winner. So I'm assuming that the main owner is going to add an extra. They're going to put a little bit more engraved for 2024.
Oh,
Going
okay.
on. That's what I'm assuming, like they do with trophies. But like I said, I never won. I never won a fantasy thing ever in my life. So it was really a roller coaster ride. It was a roller coaster ride. So to be able to be there for the home opener on 9/11, see A Rod going down in 79 seconds, to going like back to work for 3 4 days and leaving again to Dallas. Experiencing that, never really being in the stadium atmosphere. To be honest, to go back to Texas without you know, trauma, no money, one time I went over there with the Greyhound, 48 or 72 hours just to get to Texas to, sleeping in the shelter home. And, it's another story. I don't know if I told that story on here before. I feel like I did, but I feel like maybe I've just been telling so many people about it. But just the fact to go back to Texas,
Is that where you're from?
no, that's not where I'm from, bro. That's like a whole nother story, man. It's
Okay.
crazy, man. Like I gotta talk about that, with the life experiences and stories, but that'll be for another episode. But just the fact to go back over there and conquer and have money and take a plane and have an Airbnb and to be able to experience the tailgating, go to that stadium, Jerry Jones World. Even though we took that L and it was 30-10, and I was definitely blessed and I had one of the best times of my life for like 3 4 days, man. Like honestly, bro. And then from there, going to Vegas, driving the Jetmobile down to Vegas and meeting everyone over there, everyone seeing the Jetmobile, all the Jets fans happy, and running into Hall of Famers like Wesley Walker. Shout out to Wesley Walker, man, number 85, always showing me so much love, man. I know he's staying in Arizona, and that dude's who would have known? That dude's from the South Bay, bro, from the same neighborhood right here that I have on my arm, the South Bay, bro. Like, oh, that's the LA Fitness logo. My bad. The South Bay, right there, the South Bay. You know what I mean? Legend Wesley Walker, Carson High School, the Colts. He just showed me so much love, and he signed my car, and it was amazing, bro. Except for that ticket that I got when I was on my way home on the freeway, like that was bad, bro. I already left, and I'm still kind of like low key in Nevada, and I wasn't even speeding, bro. And this chick, she got me, bro. She got me. It's crazy, but yeah, man, the New York Jets are coming, bro. We got work to do. We got to get an offensive line. We're talking about getting another weapon, maybe a receiver, to saying Devontae Adams. All you Raider fans be hating all the time, saying that he ain't going nowhere. We'll see about that, but we're gonna pick up somebody, T. Higgins or Calvin Ridley, and I'm really excited for the New York Jets season. Now, my next topic: no drinking for 210 days. That was just a few days ago, you know. And my thing is like I work out 3 times a week. I want to go 4 days a week on a good week, on a good run, and I eat pretty healthy throughout the week. But I do have a slow metabolism. I'm not getting any younger. I just turned 38 on February 7th, 1986 is my born day. So I just had a birthday, and the season's over. The season's over. I mean, I drink a lot of beers, on Sundays because of football. And, you guys already know the story with my dad and everything. And, I love him to death, and I just kind of just been around the sauce my whole life, and I wouldn't consider myself like an alcoholic. I'm not like super like drinking, like, to the point where I'm blacking out. But I just know it was just like kind of like more of a cleanse. And I just pretty much said to myself, like, you know what, man, I'm gonna quit the drinking for 210 days. That's my goal. Keep doing everything else that I've been doing, but just kind of just, not hitting the sauce, like, because of the NFL season, you know what I mean? As dumb as that sounds, but I mean, I could do it. I could do it. I was doing good. I was posting every day on my personal page, like, day one, no sauce, day two, no sauce, day three, no sauce. You know what? It was day four, Solomon, where it got me. It was a Valentine's. We you just had one on the 14th, and
Mm.
got the champagne came out of nowhere, and I'm just like, man, I ain't really trying to do any of that though, and
Where did you celebrate Valentine's Day? What'd you do?
I mean, it was just like one of those things where it's like, the missus wanted to have like, champagne, and she knew that I was not really, doing nothing, and she knew what my goal was, but
Mhm.
somehow, some way, the bottle of champagne was there, and I don't want to be like a killer, bro, and be like a party pooper. I mean, it's just champagne. It's not gonna really do anything to me, but I really didn't want to drink it. And I should have just
Mm.
stick to my ground, stay, just held it down, but my mom bought those heart like champagne glasses from somewhere a while ago,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was like, yeah, I don't want to ruin the moment. So like, yeah, one bottle, whatever. So, I think for me, bro, is like I could do it, but I I think it's best that I don't just cut it out cold turkey, as long as I'm not going like, I mean, I love baseball, I love basketball. I seen you watching the highlights earlier.
Yeah.
I love UFC. I love all that, and I love to have a good time. I know how to handle myself, but I just don't. I don't really like. I don't know what it is, bro. When it comes to the NFL season, for me, that's like my party time. Like for 17 weeks, that's like my party time for me.
Mhm.
And once that's over, that's it for me. You know what I mean? So I don't really, I'm gonna take it slowly. As you can see, I'm having some happy dads right there. Shout out to Death Bro, happy dads. And I'm not happy about it that I cut it short, but I'm gonna stay on that course, not really like going out like that and drinking like that, because I don't want to mess around like that. I really want to just take care of my health. I'm not getting any younger, and it's catching up. So that's what's up with that. So I appreciate everyone's support. People were shouting out to me, saying good job and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Um, so as as we do and what we've been doing, with the sauce right here, Sauce Podcast Inc., getting lost in the sauce. You guys know what that means, and you can always have the sauce and attain it. You know what I mean? But you can also get lost in the sauce too. With setbacks and things like that. Um, this part right here is pretty much just my life story experience. I want to talk about a story, and this is like a real like it's not hard for me to tell. It's just very sentimental to me because it's a life experience that I had, and it'll always stay with me for the rest of my life. And I love this guy like a brother, and unfortunately I had to let him go, and I'll tell you why, and how it all started. So this story right here is about AJ McConnell, South Bay legend. South Bay legend. And I hope I can spread this out to as many people that knew AJ as well. And I'm hoping that y'all can hear this story, because you guys know how great he is, and I still think he's great till this day. And this is just what's up. This is what it is. So let's talk about it. The AJ story. McConnell, South Bay legend. Um, that guy ended up being one of my best friends. I met him over there. when I was in middle school. I ended up playing Pop Warner football for the city of Torrance, Torrance Panthers. We practiced every day at South Torrance High School, and we had games at South Torrance High School. And you know, the dude was a running back. He wore number 30. They called him the Train. You guys know him as the Train. And I was his offensive lineman, and and I just remember always having that dude's back. We always had a close relationship with each other. And then after Pop Warner season, we went our separate ways because there's like four different high schools in Torrance, and he ended up going to Torrance High, and I ended up going to North Torrance High School, and we still continued to play football. And he was actually a running back, and he was really good at what he did, and you know what I mean. I was giving props and kudos, and we just pretty much stayed in connection like the whole time, like when we were in when we were in high school. So I remember like when I was 16 and a half, I was, barely turning 17. My mom kicked me out of the house, for doing stupid shit, being a rebel. And, I remember just kind of like reaching out to AJ, and AJ ended up telling me, like, yo, bro, you could just come sleep over with me. He didn't really say too much with the mom and the dad. Francis Tilatino, Francia, rest in peace. The dad, AJ McConnell Sr., he's out there in Vegas, probably still. And, he just let me spend the night, and he's got two younger brothers, RJ McConnell and BJ McConnell, ended up being family as well. And it got to the point where they kind of knew what was going on, and I really didn't have nowhere to live. And you know what I mean? I'm only 17, trying to figure it out and finish school and stuff. So I remember I had a conversation with his mom, and his mom was pretty much telling me like, "Yo, you know what?" And she was Filipino, so they're very cultured. And she was just pretty much telling me like, "Look, man, you can stay here, as long as you want, but you need to make sure you respect my sons, and if anyone asks you to do any chores around the house, you got to do them. But you're always gonna have food on the table. You're always gonna have rice, and the being in that Filipino culture, they always took care of you. You know what I mean?" And I was very thankful to have a roof over my head, and it felt like I was part of the family. Um, from there, it was just one of those things where we're gonna have arguments, and I got into it with him one time, and he wasn't too happy with me, so he kicked me out. He told his mom he didn't want me there no more. So unfortunately, the mom was like, "Yo, my son don't want you here no more. So you're gonna have to leave." And I was like, "You know what? I got nowhere to go. I got nowhere to go, Francia." Like, he's like, "What do you mean? Like, your mom won't take you back or this and that?" I'm like, "No, she won't." And she's like, "You know what? I don't understand what kind of mom that would do that to somebody. Like, my sons have been unfortunately, in jail for having, at the time, possession of marijuana. It wasn't legal at the time. You know what I mean? Where he spent like, I don't know, maybe a few hours or so because he had possession. You know, she was like, "I'm gonna love my sons no matter what." You know what I mean? Teach them from right from wrong. Like, you know what? Your mom could come pick you up, and I'm gonna talk to your mom. I'm gonna let her know what's up. So, anyways, so my mom comes and picks me up. Frances right there at the door, and I remember it like it was just yesterday. He's like, "You know what? I don't agree with you doing what you're doing, because I didn't want to go with my mom, because my mom was like, 'You know what? You're not going to stay with me. I'm going to take you to the shelter home, and that's where you belong.'" And I'm thinking to myself like, "Fuck, man. Really?" So they're getting into it, and make the long story short, they're beefing it up. And then my mom puts me in the car, and she literally takes me to the shelter home in Redondo Beach. In Redondo Beach, California, like right there by the water. There's like some shelter home over there. And I go over there, my mom's over there, and I got lucky. Excuse me. I got lucky because it was a senior shelter. It was like a senior home, or something like that. It wasn't really like a shelter place for people. So I got lucky, and they couldn't accept me. So my mom had no choice but to take me to the house where I grew up at. So I was there for like 2 nights, and then I dipped. And then I think I mentioned it before. Those of you that know, I was homeless for a little bit, kind of going couch to couch. Anyways, me and AJ ended up squashing it. We ended up being best of friends. Like, we always been friends, and we squashed it. I ended up turning 18. Now me and him are going to, junior college at Harbor City College, and we're doing our thing over there. And he's playing football. He just had a kid, and I pretty much was passionate about football. I had a lot of great times, and I wasn't a starter or nothing like that, but I pretty much played, just to keep AJ motivated because he's just such a great motivator, and he liked to have fun, but football was a passion for both of us. One thing that I do remember that the most that we were really good at, we were both really good at talking to people. We were always hustling. We were always selling sound systems in high school. Somehow, some way, we would hook up people's cars and we would make money. And we would have this cool white boy named Tyler. He was our installer because he had the brains. So we had the gift of gab, and he had the brains. So we're making money doing our thing. Slowly but surely, as we're in high school, and then it started getting a little bit more serious. Um, AJ had the baddest car, bro. He had that Honda Accord. I think I want to say it was like a 1998. He had Lamborghini doors on it. He had 18s or 19s or 20s on the rims. He had about like 7 TVs in the car. Everyone knew when he was driving that car, like it was literally that's AJ McConnell. That's the train right there. You know what I mean? In the Daily Breeze news and for football. So, we felt like on top of the world, like if we were running the South Bay, which we were. And I just remember in college, bro, at JUCO at Harbor City College, the Seahawks, we had the in-dash TV and we also had the PlayStation. We had the PlayStation in the car, and we used to hustle everyone in Madden. When Madden came out, I think it was 2005 or 2004. The cover with Michael Vick. You guys remember that one, the Michael Vick? That's all we ran with. We ran with the Atlanta Falcons. We ran with Michael Vick. We had the shotgun play, and we did what we did. And we would hustle everybody for money. Like we would take everyone's money, $50, $100, whatever. They could throw whatever they want to throw on it. It was it was like before practice, after practice. We were hustling everybody. And this story is pretty crazy because this guy named Stanley, he was a cornerback. He went to San Pedro High School. He was a cornerback named Stanley from Wilmington. He ended up playing football at JUCO too. He ended up coming up to us one day after practice, like, "Yo, I got some peeps that want to play you some football on the Madden thing." And I'm like, "All right, cool. Where's it at?" You know what I mean? And it happened to be football players from Compton High School, Compton College, Compton College. So he give us the address. Me and AJ, we pull up, we go over there. It's literally right across the street from Long Beach Jordan High School. If you guys know where Long Beach Jordan High School is, it's not like the best area over there. It's gotten better. And there's a bunch of apartments right there in the complex. My cousin Cody used to live over there too. Um, so we go inside there, and then we got cash with us, and we know what we're there to do. We're there to hustle. We're gonna run the same plays. I'm Madden with Michael Vick and Price and everyone that's on that team. And when we get to that apartment, it's crazy because there was over like probably like 20 heads. And those 20 heads were all from Compton College football. All brothers, all sitting in there waiting for us. We're like, all right, cool. We're going there and do our thing. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then AJ is first to play. He plays. He does his thing. He wins. And then it's my turn now. I'm running the same plays. And it's crazy because I ended up smashing the guy too. They had a 21 skunk rule. I ended up picking up the money. As I pick up the money, AJ's over here chilling on the couch. Next thing you know, as I'm picking up the money, I turn around. Dude over here on top of AJ out of nowhere. Now he's like grounding and pounding like while he's on the couch, like boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck is going on right now? Like, so I ended up going over there trying to break it up, trying to get off my boy. These fools, all 15 of them, 18 of them, whatever it was, they pull me off of them, and they're jumping AJ, and I don't know what's going on. Somehow, some way, the fight ended up leading to the outside, and outside right there where the block is right there, cross street from Long Beach Jordan. And I remember AJ squaring up with the dude. The dude was probably like 6'3". He was a receiver, and I remember AJ just having a kid. So what I ended up doing, I was telling AJ, I was like, you know what, AJ, you just had a kid, bro. Like, you know what? Step aside, bro. This fight's mine. I pulled to the side. I'm like, yo, this fight's mine because I'm like, yo, I don't have no kids. Like this guy, like, this guy's a legend. He's a star football player. Like, I don't need this guy getting hurt. Like, it's his family. It's my blood. Like, he pretty much gave me a home to live in. So I'm over here squaring up with this dude now. He's 6'3". He's a receiver. I'm only like 5'5", 5'6". And I'm looking up to him. This dude looking at me like, man, what the fuck was this? Like, are you kidding me? Like, this dude ain't gonna do nothing to me, right?
Yeah.
So I knew how to protect myself. They used to call me the Rhino. They used to call me Rhino, growing up, because like the way like I knew how to like run people over. I knew how to wrestle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I ended up straight right away on that big dude, man, tall brother. I ended up double legging his ass. Boom, took him on the ground right away. Boom, just started grounding and pounding, bro. Like no one saw it coming, bro. Next thing you know, all 15 players of the Compton college football come rushing over me, about to jump me. And AJ's like, "Yo, let's go, let's get the fuck out of here." And we hop in the whip and we left. And we left the scene. The whole moral of the story is this: that they were just hating the fact that we were making money. We hustled them, and they were just trying to make excuses, saying like the dude's TV or his he had a sound system or something in his car and it got stolen. So he tried to accuse AJ and I that we stole it because we were in that industry.
Mm.
And we were like, dude, we're not taking shit from nobody. Like, what you talking about? You smoking crack or what? What's going on over here, bro? The next day, I usually go to school and I go and I'm always carpooling with AJ because I don't have a car.
Right.
My mom takes me to school the next day. I show up to Harbor City College. We're getting ready for football practice. Tell me why my mom's dropping me off. I have my skateboard with me. As I'm getting out the car, AJ's right there with a wrench in his hand, and he's surrounded by more Compton football players right there. 4 of them now. And they're
Wow.
about to whip his ass right now because of what happened the previous
Yeah.
night. So as soon as I saw that happen, I was like that rhino. That's why he loved me so much because I would die for that brother. I would die for him.
Mhm.
Got out the car and I ended up getting my skateboard. And as I went up there and ran up on him, they're like, "Oh," the Compton football players are like, "It's him. It's him." And then next thing you know, the whole football team, Coach Peabody, at the time, he used to coach the head coaching for South Torrance, and I think he's now like a college coach somewhere, maybe at Long Beach City College. But Coach Peabody, he was an offensive genius. Him, the whole Harbor City college football team running from like 50 feet away when they saw it all happen, all going down, and they ran to us to help out. And those dudes skedaddled. They left when we happened to had to play Solomon Compton Football College that weekend. It just so
Oh,
happened we had to
wow.
play them. So it was a lot of beef, a lot of stuff going on. But
Yeah.
the AJ story is pretty much like this, man. It kind of leads up to that. We just we we had a niche and we knew we were money hungry. So he was the kingpin, and the reason why he was a South Bay legend was because he was slanging. He was slanging a lot of weed, and at that time, weed was not legal. They barely started having dispensaries open, and I was his right hand man. And at 18, 19 years old, me and him living together in a 2-bedroom condo in Lomita, off PCH, off Cypress,
Mhm.
where Cypress Hill, the rapper himself, where he grew up on the hill. That's why he got his name. We were living over there, and we were just pretty much trapping. I was working at a furniture store. I think it was maybe Easy Life Furniture on Hawthorne and Artesia, across the street from South Bay Galleria. AJ over here, I'm hitting him up one day, and the reason why it all happened was because I was like, AJ, I need to borrow some money, bro. He's like, I'm not gonna just give you money. I can give you some weed, and you can sell for me, and I'll front it, and you pay me this, and you'll make this. I said, fuck it, then let's do it. And then we ended up moving in, and we're moving in. We're trapping. I'm doing promotions on the side for nightclubs at Inca Hoots and Aladdin's and Sevilla's at the time and Volcanoes. I mean, that was back in the day when Cohibas was going on. If you
Right.
remember Cohibas? And we're just living it up, man, having a great time. We got a pool there. We got women over all the time. We're always partying, and we're just laughing, bro. We really felt like trap stars. All we did was listen to Jeezy all the time, and all we did was watch gangster movies every night, every morning, and we'd work out every day. The dude never worked. The dude never worked. His mom and people and family and friends were always trying to figure out, how's this dude rolling like this?
Mm.
Like, he plays full-time football. He's a full-time student. Aside from having the car, because he got good grades and the parents gave him that car. But they're like, how's this dude living on his own? No one could ever figure it out. But there were certain people that knew what was going on, you know? And I would skateboard, and I knew people, and I would do his drops for him, and I would, QP here, a pound here, and he would break me off good. He would smoke me out, break me off with some cash. We were living. I mean, I would say for like a good 6 years, like I wasn't doing shit.
Mm.
We were lit. I mean, we're young dudes. Not even now. We're 21. We left that condo. Now we're moving to what's called the Green Meadows on Western and Sepulveda. Now these are even bigger condominiums, and this is a 3-bedroom apartment now. And it was me, AJ, and a guy named Jared Gaxiola, and that was his best friend from high school. They all grew up together, and it was cool, man. It was the same shit though, same shit. Working out, Goodfellas, Bronx Tale, the movie Blow, Belly, DMX, rest in peace, Nas, Sincere. I mean, you name it, bro. We were literally watching every movie like if it was like that's our livelihood. That was it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And it's crazy. The dude was known, bro. The dude was known. And I just remember one time, bro, like we're just sitting there, dude. And I remember he told me that this dude named Joe Franco, who ironically played on our Pop Warner team for the City of Torrance of Panthers. And the dude ended up playing high school football with AJ. He actually went to Torrance High School. So we knew him well. So he was telling me, he's like, yo, Joe Franco's coming over. He needs to pick up some stuff. You know what I mean? For some reason, I don't know what it was, but AJ always wanted people to know. He always wanted to show off, you know? When we would have parties, he would show off his safe. He had one of those like standing like big safes, like really like
Oh
it's
yeah.
impossible to pick up. You
Yeah.
got to get a dolly. But for some reason, bro, when he had his master bedroom and he had the women over, he would show it off. You don't think those women are gonna tell like people in the city, like different guys that are envious or jealous or that want to come up?
Right.
And I always would tell him, bro, like, come on. And it just so happened that the dude ended up coming over. Oh yeah, it's Joe Franco, no problem, right? And me and Jared, my roommate at the time, Gaxiola, we're over there in the living room. We had a basketball court in the living room. That's how balling it was. We had a
Right.
full on basketball court in the living room. And I remember like it was just yesterday. Door opens, it's Joe, and next thing you know, AJ's like, "Oh, who are these two people?" He's never seen him. He's never seen him in their life. And Joe Franco was just like, those are just my family members, my cousin. They're from Lake Elsinore. Oh, like nothing to it. Nothing. There's nothing going on, right? They go upstairs. They do whatever they're doing. It's quiet. Me and Jared are still pooping downstairs. And next thing you know, like 15 minutes later, these dudes come running down the stairs with a big ass duffel bag, pointing out the strap right here, right at me, right at Jared,
Mhm.
and saying as the doors open, yo, if this shit comes back to Joe Franco or comes back to anyone, y'all, I know who you are. Y'all gonna get blasted. You're lucky I don't blast you right now. The gun's pointing right at us, Al. And I'm thinking to myself, like, the first thing came to my mind was like, bro, I gotta be that rhino. I gotta protect my brother. Fuck it. Do I just go after it? And I was really about to get after it. But then something told me, like, maybe I need to step back. I
So
mean,
he was upstairs
he
at
was
the time.
upstairs
Yeah.
quiet. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
I'm thinking the guy's probably gone, you know? So, I didn't really attack, I just stood there, I was shocked. So they left. I go upstairs, he's on the ground. He's fine, but not really because he got shocked, he got tased, they had him down. They took about $10,000. They took about, I want to say about good 5 to 8 pounds of weed. That wasn't even, we still owed that
Oh wow.
to the main dude. They got fronted, you know? So now we're shitting bricks and we have to figure out something because I think his name was Dan. Dan the man. Yeah, that's his name. Dan the man. I don't know his last name, but he would always come in his Porsche. And I know he lived in like somewhere in PV somewhere. Paul's Verdes. He was an Italian guy. Very, very, very interesting character. Dan the man. He kind of reminded me of the dude like Pee Wee Herman from Blow. Like kind of like that kind of thing, And he had to tell him what happened, and he was pissed. He was pissed.
Yeah.
But we had to come up with another play. So the only other play we could think of, because we're supplying the whole South Bay with weed. If you were getting weed back in that day, it was coming from AJ and me. It was coming from AJ, me, and the crew. You know,
Mhm.
and we had to tell him, and then we had to come up with a plan B. And guess what plan B was? To start doing hydroponics, start growing.
No.
to make it all back. You know,
So he gave you some time then.
he gave us plenty of time. He actually invested into the project
Mm,
on the money that he lost already.
okay.
So now my bedroom is now turning into a hydroponics room. Instead of paying $800 a month for rent, he said, "I'm going to cut it down to half. You live in the living room. That's going to be my whole girl room now."
Mm,
So we had the little clones in the closets in my old room and Jared's room. Jared's still sleeping in there, but he let him put the clones in there. And then he had all the fucking lights hanging. I mean, we were fucking singing to them. We had different jobs. I mean, it was all about, doing the cultivation and making this money back that we owe Dan the man. So we must have had like over 500 plants.
no complaints from the neighbors?
Nothing. Nothing. And
Wow.
and here you go at 21 years old, 22, 23, living the life. Living the life. At least I thought so,
Yeah.
you know. I remember it like it was yesterday. I'm working at BJ's Brew House in Torrance. I lied on my application. I said I had experience as a waiter. That was a lie. I lasted 10 days, bro. Wait, hey, shout out to the waiters, bro, because that's on another level. What they do, oh my God, there's no way I can't balance drinks, bro. They ended up demoting me to a busboy, and that didn't even last either. I
Yeah.
ended up getting fired because I talked too much. And everyone in there that went to that BJ's in Torrance, everyone that would sit there, they all knew me, like families, because I used to coach kids.
Right.
So they all knew me. So I was sitting there talking. So I remember I'm riding my mountain bike from Del Amo Mall to Sepulveda and Western where I live. I'm on my way. I'm probably like 5 miles away. And I get a phone call. And it's AJ's baby mama, Laura.
Mm,
Laura, amazing woman, by the way. Amazing woman. And she's pretty much telling me, like, Gio, where are you right now? And I'm all like, well, I just got off work. I'm on my way to the crib. Like, what's up? Oh, don't go home. There's over 100 LAPD officers at your door. They already ransacked everything. They have AJ in cuffs. Do not go there. Matter of fact, AJ's son was there, and she was still trying to figure out to go get him
how to
because,
get him, yeah.
yeah. So she was just pretty much giving me a heads up. I pull over there in the mountain bike. I don't go inside. I'm just kind of peeping. I see that the door is open. I don't even go in. I just kind of go by and I go around. I'm trying to find out where he's at. I heard something about the local grocery store up the street where the rallies is on Lamita Boulevard, right there on Lamita Boulevard in Western, and that market's not there anymore. And as I pull up, bro, I look to my right, and AJ's right there in handcuffs, and they got him, and they're making him take his shoes off, they're making him take his socks off. They literally been investigating this guy the whole time. And here I am, feeling like a rhino, trying to figure out a way to save this guy,
Mm.
even with the police having him cuffed. And I went over there. I went over there, and I shouldn't have done that, but I went over there, and I pretty much was like talking shit to the police officers, like, dude, like that's my boy. That's my boy. I love that dude. You know what I mean? So they ended up throwing him in. He ended up going to county. He ended up catching the felony charge for cultivation. And this whole time we're living this movie lifestyle. All these things that are going on. It's like now it's like a little, like literally like a low key movie. It's like a low key movie, bro. All the stuff that we used to watch.
So they weren't after you? I mean, you were living there, you were doing the whole thing. If you say they were investigating him, they must have seen you at some point.
I'm sure they have something with like photos or they knew names, but he never said anything that said that I lived there, even though
Mm,
he knew that I did, and they knew that too. He wasn't the type to rat anyone out.
got it.
He wasn't the type to do that, you know. And he ended up getting bailed out. Laura and their family, they're very wealthy in what they do, and their uncle Claudio, and they do like parts from like Argentina for like, really um vintage cars and stuff. So they ended up bailing him out. right? And I know we're cutting short here. But they end up bailing him out. He ends up leaving. He wasn't even supposed to leave. They end up flying, leaving to Argentina
Oh, wow.
because they have a beach house over there.
So, like, skipping bail.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So here I am sitting at the crib. I go back over there. I mean, I gotta have some. I mean, that's where I live. Couches flowing over, plants are all gone. Places look like a mess. Check this. Ready? Electricity goes out.
Okay.
No one pays the Edison bill. No one pays it. The bill's at $3,000 because of all the
All the lights,
hydroponics.
yeah.
The whole time when this is all going on before he even got raided, we were wondering why this LAPD helicopter was going around in circles for weeks. We thought it was weird, you know?
Well, I imagine they do something where they check your bill went from probably a couple $100, over $1,000 a month for no reason.
Yep. Yep. And it never got paid, because all that stuff went down. So
Yeah.
now I'm sitting there, Sal. I'm sitting there, guys, and I have no electricity. I have no light. I have no nothing. Can't charge my phone. I can't even do laundry. I can't do nothing, bro. All I have is this roof.
Yeah.
And at nighttime I had to put candles. And there's nothing I could do. And you know, it's crazy because that's another story with that. But, I just wanted to pretty much tell the story of AJ because regardless of like what happened and how it went down, like that dude was a real one, you know what I mean? And the reason why I bring him up is because when I had my first son, Enzo, at 30 years old, I didn't want, I wanted to have a clean slate, and sometimes you have to cut ties with even some of your best friends of your life. And I remember that day because I had to tell him, I was like, bro, you know what, man? I'm about to have this kid, bro. Like I love you, like you're my brother, but it's time for me to step up. I have to go my way, bro. I gotta get my way. I gotta. And he was the type, and he was right. I hate to admit that, but he was right. He's like, you and Crisanta will never work out. You
Mm.
guys will never work out. Like it was like low key, kind of like he was hating on our relationship. So I cut ties with him, and I was like, I gotta be a dad. I gotta be more responsible.
Yeah.
And now I'm looking at it now at 2024, and he was right. We didn't work out, you know? And, from there, bro, it was like I tried to warn his family and his dad and his brothers. I said, something's going on with them. Something's going on with them. Unfortunately, rest in peace, Frances Tolentino. She passed away. He wasn't really grieving on that. That was his mom, and then he lost his job at LA Fitness. And he was one of the best sales professionals I ever met. And then it just all started trending downhill from there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Proverbs. There's nothing wrong with reading stuff like that.
Right.
But he would take it to the extreme. I'd come over to the little apartments, the condos that his dad let him stay for free, and it was over there off of the 110 South, right off PCH,
Mhm.
and those condominiums right there. And I would go over there, and that's all he would talk about. That's all he would talk about. I mean, he would bump Proverbs at like 2, 3 in the morning, like bumping, like if it was like rap music.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
thinking like something's wrong. Something's wrong. And his girlfriend at the time, Arizu, I remember her, Arizu, was very concerned, you know. The Pookie, they found a pipe, you know. So as a good friend, I had to tell somebody. I was trying to do an intervention for the guy.
Mhm.
But what do you think? This guy's a legend, 3 sport athlete. Got a full ride to Humble State University. Didn't take it because he had a kid at 17,
Right.
which the girl never even told him that she even had a kid. She hid it the whole time until last minute, wearing big sweaters. She has her reasons to do that. I'm not knocking that, but you know, it's crazy to me because like I literally care about that guy so much that I had to tell his dad, bro. I told his dad what was going on with him, and he didn't want to believe me, bro.
Mm.
But what dad really wants to believe that about their son, you know?
Yeah.
And then now, bro. It's been a long, long, long time. And the last thing I heard is that he was like somewhere in Vegas. I don't know, somewhere in Vegas, like lost or something. Like I hope he's still alive, bro. I'm just I want to end this story as like, yeah, like it's kind of like sad how that went down, but to me, the dude was a legend, bro. I mean, you could literally like that was a short script of what's up, but I really feel like the dude can have a documentary on Netflix.
Mm.
Like it's that deep. The guy was an inspiration to everybody. Always smiling, always energetic, happy, go getter, didn't take no shit from nobody. Very brilliant, entrepreneur,
Mhm.
just a overall just a helpful, good guy, you know. And we need more people like that in this world, you know. But it's just unfortunate how it happened and how it ended. I just hope he's okay.
I hear
I
you.
just hope he's okay. So that's pretty much how I'm ending it, man. That's I do this podcast. Like I said again, it's for me. This is something that I like to do. I like to talk. And this is my therapy for me. And if anyone watching this, follow, like, subscribe. YouTube, Instagram. I'm all new to this. I did have that partner before, so now I'm on my own, and I'm still running it, man. This is the comeback, man. Sauce Podcast Inc., man, getting lost in the sauce with Geo Metro. And if you like these stories and there's more coming, I got a million more to tell. And I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. So, overall, everything's good and we're all fighting every day. And we just gotta learn how to love each other, man, because this world's getting crazier and crazier by the day, man. I hope everyone gets home safe today, and everyone's striving to have better lives. And reach out to me, man, if you want to be a guest on the show. Anything, you got maybe you just want to critique me. Hey, hey, make me better. That's all I got, Sal, man. I mean, I had a good time, bro. I appreciate you. It's been a minute. That's it, man. I'm out, man. Go Jets. Each other, man, because this world's